Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NBA, I make videos for NFL. All these videos they get posted on this subreddit right here. It's called DF Sports. You can find my posts with my username Shook. I make updates with all the news that comes out throughout the day. You can ask me questions about the slate. People post content here. Really great place to be. This will be linked down below, and if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can get a hold of me on Twitter right here. This will also be linked down below. All right, so we got a nice 6 game slate for tomorrow, the 27th. A lot of news to keep an eye on. A lot of starting lineups that could change. So yeah. Um, oh, my lineup tonight. I forgot to pull it up. I got night slate going. We'll see how that goes, but don't think I'll cash on the main slate. My lineup tonight. My core did good. My core tonight was Jalen Smith. He was low owned. I don't know how he was low owned, but he absolutely smashed. Andre Drummond was a core play. Obviously, he nuked. DeMar DeRozan was a core play. He ended up getting to 40, so he 5x. He did good. And then Kobe was a core play. He busted. But I also had Patrick Williams in my lineup, so you guys know how that went. Night slate, we'll see. I played Fox. He's smashing. Who else did I play? Cody Martin, he's smashing. Paul George, James Harden, Moses Brown. We'll see how that ends. But yeah. If you guys are interested in more in-depth content, where I give you guys cores, private videos, night slate videos, night slate cores, all that good stuff, my Discord will be linked down below as well. All right, let's go over this 6 game slate for tomorrow. Like I said, the 27th of December. All right, really, really good spot here. Maybe we'll pull back up the advanced stats because it's a short slate. We can talk about it a little bit more. Really, really good spot here for Toronto. Washington is first in pace in the league. They are last in defensive rating, so it doesn't get much better of a spot than this. With that being said, I like all the main guys here quite a bit. Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam, Dennis Schroeder, OG Anunoby, I think all look really good at their respective price points. Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam, these two guys are going to lead the way offensively. These two guys are going to play huge minutes. These two guys are going to do everything for this team. Both can stuff the stat sheet as well. So I think both Siakam, both Scotty, both look like very solid plays at their price points. I think they're too cheap for this matchup. The only risk here is potential for a blowout. So that's the only thing you have to worry about. Like, if this game stays close, you're going to see probably at least two of these Raptors probably just absolutely smash. So, really like Scotty, really like Siakam. Dennis Schroeder, I think, is solid at 6.2K as well. His minutes are very, very secure. I would say the ceiling is a bit lower on him compared to the other guys, but pretty safe. He'll have the ball in his hands a decent amount. He'll stuff the stat sheet. He hasn't been shooting the ball well of late. But earlier in the year, you can go back. He's smashed. He has that type of upside. So in a smash spot going up against Washington, I definitely have interest in Dennis Schroeder. OG Anunoby is just very, very safe. He's gonna basically play the entire game. Good defender, can get steals. Gonna play close to 40 minutes. Just very, very safe. I don't know why the price came down either. I think he should be like a 6.2K player with the amount of minutes he's playing right now. So I definitely have interest in OG. Jakob Poeltl, Precious Achiuwa, these two guys will kind of split the center minutes, so at their price points, tough for me to prioritize either. But if you get the game where like Jakob Poeltl randomly plays, 30 minutes, which could happen, he's going to absolutely nuke Gafford. You guys know I always like targeting Daniel Gafford on the other side of the game. So Poeltl, more of a large field tournament player for me. Like if I knew Jakob Poeltl was going to play 30 minutes tomorrow, I would 100% play him. But there's just they're kind of splitting the center minutes with these two. So more tournament plays. Precious Achiuwa I think is priced right. It's hard to go there. And then I'll mention Gary Trent. Should play low to mid 20s minutes off the bench. His minutes have been ticking up of late as well. He's been shooting the ball very, very well. He does have this type of ceiling. So in play, more of a tournament play. This game definitely a bit of an outlier. Like 10 rebounds, just absolutely insane. But should play okay minutes off the bench. I have no issue with it for value. Moving on to Washington, it's a really, really tough spot here. Toronto, they play pretty slow, 20th in pace. They're good defensively as well. They are, where are they? 18th in defensive rating. I thought they'd be a little bit higher than that, but I guess not. Kyle Kuzma, more of a contrarian play for me. Um, Jordan Poole, same thing, more of a contrarian play. Tyus Jones, more of a contrarian play. Denny at 6'5", more contrarian play. The minutes aren't great on these guys. I want to say in this Warriors game, the bench, the starters were not playing great either. Daniel Gafford, I mean, Danilo Gallinari has been back, so they have another option. But when he was out, Gafford was playing all the minutes he can handle. Don't like the spot going up against Toronto either. So all these guys more really just large field tournament players for me. Koulibaly still way overpriced. Corey Kispert kind of the same play to Gary Trent, but I think Gary Trent's just better and he's cheaper, so I'm not going to pay that price for Corey Kispert. Zero chance. I'm not going to touch the bench value, so pretty unappealing team to me. And who's ready to run it back with the Sixers tomorrow? So one thing I want to pull up, and if you jam Sixers the other day, you cannot look at what happened with Tyrese Maxey and Paul Reed and be mad at yourself. They basically ran a 6-man rotation. Pat Bev barely played. Marcus Morris barely played. Robert Covington didn't play. I think he's still injured. That would be the only reason I think on why he didn't play. And they had like KJ Martin. It's just disgusting stuff. So like, yeah, they basically ran 6 guys. So with that being said, with Joel Embiid out, with Nick Batum out, there is a lot to like here. If the field is not going to want to play these guys because of what happened last game, which most pretty much everyone smashed, outside of Maxey and Reed, I'm going right back. Like, I don't care. With the amount of usage that is left with Joel Embiid off of this court, they're going to be really good plays here. So I'm fine going right back to these Sixers. Even in a tough matchup, I'm okay with it. So Tyrese Maxey at 8.8K. He played 44 minutes in regulation last game. You give him 44 minutes without Joel Embiid. Let's do a little math experiment. Let's do a math experiment. This is how you get better at DFS, even though I've had some really rough past few days. Let's go back to October. I mean, that sample's not going to be great. But let's pull up the Sixers. And people should be doing this with you guys. I know a lot of you guys already know this stuff, but this can help the general public just get better. I don't know why it's not pulling up Philly. But let's do a little experiment. Let's look at all the Sixers rates with Joel Embiid off of the court. There we go. Let's put Joel Embiid off of the court. Let's save that. Let's just take a look. Melton gets a huge bump. Okay, so obviously James Harden not on the team, but Maxey 1.15, and this is from years ago, so it's probably even better right now. Paul Reed 1.04, Tobias Harris 1.02, D'Anthony Melton 0.96, Kelly Oubre 0.94 in a limited sample. So you kind of get the point here. They get such a big bump, the prices aren't adjusted for it. So, Tyrese Maxey, I really like with Joel Embiid out. Tobias Harris, I really like with Joel Embiid out. D'Anthony Melton, I really like with Joel Embiid out. Kelly Oubre, I really like with Joel Embiid out. Paul Reed, assuming he can stay out of foul trouble, I really like. Mo Bamba, he'll get the backup 5. He's interesting, especially if you think Paul Reed gets in random foul trouble. Paul Reed's always in foul trouble. I can't call it random. Marcus Morris just barely played, so it's hard to trust that. We'll see if Roko's in the rotation. Hopefully we get clarity on that. But they run such a tight rotation. It's hard for me to get to anyone outside of like Mo Bamba, Paul Reed, Kelly Oubre, D'Anthony Melton, Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey, and then we'll see a little bit more clarity on what happened with Robert Covington the next day. But they all look great once again. Even in a bad matchup, I'm okay. All right, Sixers. They're playing a little faster this year. They're 12th in pace, 3rd in defensive ratings. Not the best spot here. But you have to consider Joel Embiid's off the court. Paulo Banchero, more of a contrarian play for me at this price point. And this matchup, Franz, more of a contrarian play for me as well. If I had to pick one, it would be Paolo, since they are close in price points. Paolo has the better specific matchup as well. We do have Jalen Suggs back, so that's going to hurt Cole Anthony. Jalen Suggs himself, I would say, is priced right at 5.9K as well. Wendell Carter Jr., they're kind of keeping it easy on his minutes right now, and they're kind of running a 3-headed monster at center, so it's hard to go there. Gary Harris, I'm not going to play. I don't know what that game was from Anthony Black tonight, but I hope people chase it. I really hope people play Anthony Black tomorrow. I will not be playing Anthony Black, but he is playable. All right, another team that we could have just infinite good plays from. So Giannis is questionable going up against Brooklyn here. If Giannis is in, I think Giannis stands out as one of the best spin-ups on the slate. Him, Luca, if they're both in, I always just prefer Luca with the team to himself. But Giannis, really good spin-up if he plays. Dame would be more of a contrarian play. I think Middleton's solid. He's minutes slowly been ticking up of late, 33, 33. If he continues to play around 33 minutes, then yeah, I think he's a solid play. Brook Lopez, more of a contrarian play for me. Bobby Portis is priced right. Malik Beasley is always just fine as like a last piece in for me. And then you're going to get some run for guys like Pat Connaughton. Andre Jackson will be in the rotation a little bit. If I had to play one, it would be Pat Connaughton. But I don't know if we'll necessarily need to go there on the slate. We'll see what value opens up. And we have the Sixers value already. But if Giannis is out, that does change some things. Then I really like Dame. Chris Middleton is going to look really good. Brook Lopez would be solid. Bobby Portis I would really like at 5.5K. Beasley would even be fine. You're going to get more run for like Pat Connaughton, Andre Jackson. They would be intriguing. So there'd be a lot to like here if Giannis is out. But Bobby Portis I would really like. Moving on to Brooklyn. So Brooklyn, not the best spot here. Milwaukee, they are fourth in pace, and they dropped defensively this year? No way. Hello? Are my eyes dead? 20th in defensive rating. So, if you played any Nets tonight, I played the $450 on FanDuel. I played Cam Thomas. He just got benched. Also got into random massive foul trouble as well. But Mikal, I mean, he's been up and down. I would say normally this price tag is a bit too cheap, but does have a ceiling. More of a tournament play only for me. Cam Thomas, what they're doing with the rotation with him, it's just absolutely disgusting. So large field tournament play for me. Spencer Dinwiddie, it's the best spot for him out of anyone on this team. So I guess he'd probably be my favorite, but with Dennis Smith Jr. back, he's only going to play around 33 minutes. So minutes are capped a little bit with Dennis Smith Jr. back, but still of interest, I guess. Claxton at 6.8K. Sometimes they're closing with Day'Ron Sharpe. Sometimes they're playing Claxton 30 minutes. I want to see how much he ended with tonight. I know he came in at the end there, played 26 minutes. Yeah, they're playing Day'Ron Sharpe some. It's just, I don't know what they're doing here. Strictly a tournament play for me. Cam Johnson, his minutes haven't been great of late, so another just contrarian play for me. I don't know why they're playing like Dorian so much, Royce. It's just absolutely disgusting. Really disgusting stuff there. All right, good spot for the Knicks. I think Brunson and Randall are both good plays, respectively. If I had to pick one, I mean, it's pretty close looking at their price points. I think both are fine options, though. Maybe I lean Brunson, but I think both are solid. You know, both are going to play huge minutes. Both are just going to dominate usage here. So Brunson and Randall are solid. RJ Barrett, more of your boomer bust play. His minutes haven't been great as well. But if he is playing well, they will extend him. They're kind of going hot hand a little bit between like Josh Hart, RJ, quickly Dante sometimes. But RJ more of a tournament play for me. I like Isaiah Hartenstein a lot. Once again, he keeps getting into foul trouble, but they just have nobody behind him. They legit have nobody behind him. He is going to play all the minutes he can handle here. Going up against OKC as well. I really like Hartenstein once again here. Hopefully it doesn't get into foul trouble. Hart, I mean, minutes all over the place with him, but got to stuff the stat sheet. More of a tournament play for me. Quickly does have a ceiling when he's hitting his shots. He's fine, and then Dante's minutes haven't been great, so I'd say he's overpriced. And then I'm not going to play dusty old Taj. Let's move on to OKC. So not a good spot here. Knicks, they play pretty slow. Where are they? Every single year they're at the bottom, 27th in pace, and they are. Where are they? Should be like in the middle. Yeah, 14th in defensive rating. So SGA, I think it's a fine spend up. I think there are better ones. Like looking at the spend ups, I'd rather play Luka. I'd rather play Giannis. We possibly have Donovan Mitchell coming back, going up against Dallas. So yeah, definitely better spend ups in my opinion to SGA, but he's always in play. Chet, don't love the spot. Fine contrarian play, don't love it though. Jalen Williams is priced right. We also have Giddey and Dort back. Don't love either of them. Isaiah Joe, I don't understand that price point. I'm not going to play Kaysen. So pretty unappealing team there for the Thunder. Let's move on to Phoenix. So it looks like we have Nurkic coming back here. So Booker, KD, once again, more contrarian plays for me. But these two healthy, they've not been putting up good fantasy games. If I had to play one, I guess it would be Booker, but more contrarian plays for me. Keep an eye on the starting. I assume the starting lineup will just be Booker, Durant, Nurk, Grayson Allen, Eric Gordon. If that's the case, I think Eric Gordon's a solid value. I mean, Grayson Allen's just the best player on this team of late. Reasonable play at 5.7. I'd say he's a bit pricey now. And then Drew Eubanks will go back to the bench. Hard to go there. And then Metu becomes unplayable with Nurk back. Moving on to Houston. So, Sengun, Fred, I mean, they're both going to play huge minutes. Sengun, I believe, had a massive, massive game tonight. Was that tonight? Back-to-back massive games. I believe he had a huge game tonight. But these two guys, they're going to do everything for this team. They're also going to play huge minutes. I have no issue with either. I'd say Fred's probably a little bit safer, but if you want ceiling, I definitely prefer Sengun. Jabari's priced right. Tari Eason, I think, is solid at 5.8K. She'll play high 20s minutes, really good point per minute. And then Dylan Brooks is questionable, but keep an eye on that. They dusted off like Aaron Holiday, Jayshawn Tate will gain minutes. We'll see what they do with the starting lineup. If they start like a Jayshawn Tate, I think he's solid value. But they did dust off some Holiday. You saw Jalen Green lose some minutes. Outside of like Sengun, Fred, Jabari, they're kind of just doing disgusting stuff. My next favorite in that grouping would be Tari Eason if you consider price points. Then we'll monitor starting lineup. If like Tate starts, yeah, you can go there. So it would be solid. All right, last game of the night here. Big news here is going to be Donovan Mitchell. If he's in, I really like Donovan Mitchell going up against Dallas. I would assume he wouldn't be on a limit. We'll see. But if he plays, I really, really like Donovan Mitchell. Porter or Jared Allen going up against Dallas, just a god spot. Yeah, I like Jared Allen quite a bit. Max Strus, I think, would be priced right if Donovan Mitchell's in. LeVert, they just don't want to give him minutes. Sam Merrill's doubtful, so he's not going to play. And then, like, a Cora Wade, they'd be overpriced. Porter would be overpriced. So, it would mainly just be Mitchell, Jared Allen, some interest in Strus. That would be it. But if, like, all these guys are out that have been out, then, yeah, we're going to be firing up Craig Porter Jr., who would look great. Max Strus would be a really good play. Even at that price point, Jared Allen, be solid. Cora Wade, even at those prices, it's just disgusting to say, but they'd be fine. I don't love it, but they'd be fine. It's just disgusting. They're running a really tight rotation with all these guys out. Niang, he'll play low 20s minutes, fair dart. Surprisingly, Amani Bates just didn't play, so I didn't understand that. They ran like 6 guys into the ground. So keep an eye on that. If they're all out, Craig Porter looks great, Strus solid, Jared Allen good. So keep an eye on that. And then if LeVert plays, we'll see. But I would assume, yeah, okay. All right, yeah, keep an eye on that. Sorry, I was trying to regain my train of thought on what I was going to say. All right, Luka questionable. If Luka plays, he's my favorite spin up on this slate. Not concerned in the matchup going up against Cleveland either. If Luke is in, it kind of hurts everyone else. Tim Hardaway Jr. at 6'4", I think would be priced right, but he's playing huge minutes. Dante Exum, very, very safe play. I do like Lively, though, at 5.5K. Minutes have been pretty secure when he has played. Decent point per minute. So I do like Lively at that price point. Derek Jones Jr., just a filler play for me. Grant Williams came off the bench last game. Hard to go there. And, yeah, and then if Luke is out, that changes everything once again. Then, starting lineup, Hardy. They could do a number of things. They could insert Grant back in. But I would assume it would just be like Hardy, Exum, Tim Hardaway Jr., Derek Jones Jr., Derek Lively would be my guess. If that's the case, Hardy would be a really good value. Derek Jones Jr. would be fine. Like Lively, Exum would be a really good play. Tim Hardaway Jr. would be a really good play. And then I guess you can get to like a Grant Williams off the bench, be fine. If they start Grant, that's fine too. But I'd honestly prefer like Luka in to play guys like Derek Jones Jr. and Grant Williams, but man, it's fine either way. So hopefully this video helped you guys out, and I will talk to you all in the next one.